Hello, welcome to CLSP Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. Today we're going to be talking about Pennsylvania. This is an interesting state when it comes to primaries because, Pennsylvania has been very interesting. One of the interesting things that happened when we were looking at the special elections at the state Senate level, there was a GOP plus like 15 that flipped blue. I think Pennsylvania is a really interesting state simply because it's got rural, it's got really big cities on bookends on either side of it. Uh, and in the middle you've got just agriculture. It's getting nailed by the GOP. So when I look at when we look at this data, keep that in mind. So obviously, your major population centers are going to be District 12 and 3, 2, 5, 4, 1, and 6, 7 a little bit, 11 a little bit, and then it gets pretty rural after that. When we break it down, we look at what's leaning where. Yeah, you've got a lot of Democrat and a lot of Republicans, almost a 50-50 kind of state. That's why they call this a swing state. And when we take a look at it, we're like, oh, so 10's not really that red. And 1, 7, and 8 are also up for grabs. So when you can see kind of what this state's probably going to look like after 2026, and you could see quite a bit of change. When we look at when the blueberries are, it's just a whole lot of red out there. But then you look at those white areas; those are the 50-50 areas. So yeah, there's red, but there's also just randomly a lot of white just sitting there, 50-50, not red, not blue, maybe light pink. Those are the areas. Those are the areas that you're gonna want to go into as a candidate and bump up those numbers. Those are the areas that you have a fighting chance. And a lot of those, like when you see the blue and it turns into white, those are what we call suburbs. And suburbs are what, my firm, we love them because they're ripe for field programs. And we can knock on as many doors. It's like an ocean of doors. And they're uniformly separated, and you can go in and hit as many as you want. Really, really great. Love me some suburbs. When you look at the minority breakdown, well, just a lot of white people out there in the country. But then you can see pockets. You can see areas that are much more diverse. Of course, the cities are always very diverse, but there's a lot out there. And you can make some moves. Absolutely. There's some communities out there that probably are heavily underrepresented. And I'm actually going to do a show on minorities that are underrepresented. I live in Texas, so we're the worst. Like, it's not even close to what we're a minority majority state, and the minorities have like 20% of the seats. And they have 60% of the population. I mean, it's insane. Anyway, or it's like 30%. Anyway, it's less than it should be by a mountain. And that was mostly because of redistricting. It's only going to get worse. So real quick, like and subscribe if you haven't. I've got a few different places you can check me out on YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and Substack. And if you'd like to donate, you can go to my YouTube, where I have my PayPal at CLSP Politics, and you can become a paid member on my Substack at CLSP Politics if that's kind of what you'd like to see. As a paid member of my Substack, you will get access to certain things, different reports and stuff that I don't generally put out to the whole universe. So especially as we get closer to the election, you'll have papers and things that no one else is going to really see. And you'll see a lot of how I do my research and my methodology. So kind of interesting. Worth $5 a month for sure. All right. Let's talk about some congressional seats, shall we? District 1. So right now, you've got a Republican incumbent. I don't expect Brian Fitzpatrick to survive this coming cycle. He's one of the ones I think is going to flip blue. Now, when you look at the money, he's like, holy crap, that guy's got $6.9 million. Wow. That's a 52.46. Bob Harvey raises, this is what he raised as of September, a few months ago. So if Bob Harvey's getting into the $1 million or maybe a little over that, when I go back and look at him in January, it's game on, because Bob's just got to put together a decent field program. And who knows what Tracy Hunt's doing? She's raising money, and who knows? So they'll have a primary in May. And then that still gives you most of May, June, July, August, September, October, 5 months to run a field program against Brian Fitzpatrick. I think that's doable. I mean, you should be able to knock on at least 500,000 doors in 5 months, at least 500,000. And, that's, 130,000 a few times, So, yeah, it's totally a winnable seat for a Democrat. Yeah, I honestly think Brian's got more money cash on hand than any Republican I've really looked at. And I'm many months ahead of when you're seeing this as far as the primaries go. This guy's got a lot of money. So then we get District 3. It's an open seat. It's busy. Lots of Democrats running for this one. We've got quite a few that are over 100,000. We've got David Oxman, who's sitting at 331. Yeah, these Democrats are going in. This primary 2019 is going to be busy. If you are a registered Democrat or a voter that votes in primaries in, I guess that would be Western Philadelphia and South Philadelphia, you're going to get some mail. You're going to get your door knocked. 100% guaranteed. This is going to be a busy cycle for them. District 6. Democrat incumbent sitting at 3.7 million. Yeah, not worried about this one, not in this cycle. Then we've got District 7, Republican incumbent at 1.4 million. But what's really interesting about 7 is that there's math here for the Democrats to win handily. And obviously, this is not a very well kept secret. By September, you've got, 2 of them are at $250,000 and one of them's almost at $500,000 raised. So not a big, and that's cash on hand. They've already spent money. So, wow. Ryan McKenzie is in trouble and good. Also, definitely a seat the Democrats can pick up in Philadelphia. In Pennsylvania. Again, real quick, like and subscribe. I'm on YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and Substack. Come find me. I'm also got a website if you're interested in running for office. Check me out there too. You can email me at Sean@CLSP Politics. Not hard to find. Congressional District 8, another incumbent Republican. I think this one's flippable. I really do. It's the Democrat actually has a better chance here than the Republican does in the big data set when you really take in all the math. The Democrat, it's tight. This will not be a blowout. But as of September, Page had already raised almost $500,000. The Republican's only sitting at $1 million. So there is math here for the Democrat to pull this seat, no problem. It's going to take a lot of door knocking, a lot of work. No, if it was easy, other people would have done it, right? But this is definitely one that can be flipped, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Paige Cognetti does in this seat. I think this is definitely a winnable one. If you're in her district and you're going, wow, should I give money to her? Yes, do that. You will do well to give her some resource. District 10, another incumbent Republican. I like this seat too for the Democrats. Yeah, it's an uphill climb. It's 4 points, but I'm telling you, Trump not being on the ticket's worth 3 right there. Now you just have to, get out there and Janelle Stelson almost raised $1 million by September. There is, I think Scott Perry's in trouble. Scott Perry better be raising money because Janelle's coming after him big time. And in this cycle, I think this is one that can float. District 12, solid Democratic seat. What's weird is, like, I guess they're going to have a pretty interesting primary. Couldn't find a lot of money raised in this district. It's blue. There's all get out. Even the Republican hadn't really filed anything with FEC. This is one I'll have to come back and look at. There just isn't a lot of data yet. There's no general election in this race because the Democrats have it like 2-1. But yeah, that's kind of that. So that's kind of Pennsylvania in a nutshell. If you live in Pennsylvania, rewind this, take a look at a couple things, share it to some people. But there's some seats out there that are absolutely worth donating to, and we definitely flip a bunch of these. And I mean, hell, you can almost undo all of Texas's redistricting just with Pennsylvania. So check me out, CLSP Politics, and really appreciate it, all the support and everyone who's been watching my shows. All right, you guys have a great day. Bye.